gentlemen, welcome back to Big Six. It's been a minute. Last time we got together, we talked about our dads, and I tell you that for me, that was really good. That was therapeutic. You know, for me, look, it's been over 28, almost 30 years since I lost my father, and so, definitely miss him. Think about him every day.
Big Six.
Big Six to the board.
So we are gonna do this.
Let my man finish.
Oh,
the intro.
my bad.
So, well, every time I make an intro, I make an entrance. Eartha, Bertha, and Gertha.
That's how it's gonna be today.
No, not really. I think he's just showing out. Just a tad.
If memory serves me right, I was the champion of the last game.
That's the past. Look, but tonight,
you.
we're gonna
Let's
go
talk about that.
ahead.
That's part of the problem. We always living in the past.
Right, we're living in the past, and then you feeding him too. So this don't even.
Sir, sir.
He feed me like I want some.
Feed the barrels, man.
Yeah,
Feed
my
the barrels.
brother. Come on, give me 10. Do what you do. Do what you do.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
so I enjoyed it. Rob, any thoughts from you on the last episode?
Yeah, I had a couple thoughts on the last episode. I think every time we sit down and do this, it's very therapeutic. Individually as well as collectively. What we come away from it. So as we look at it and try to come back and say what we want to do right, wrong, I definitely was in a place that it definitely helped me. So looking forward to the conversation, and just let me get 15 stitches while we're doing that. But tonight, I think as we look at a topic for tonight.
This brother here, he want to just act up. Why you want to move my 6?
All right, so going back, I think we're going to talk about tonight something that's kind of near and dear. Might step on a few toes tonight.
15.
But why do we, as men, not want to talk about, share issues, problems, and the concerns with one another? What's that all about?
Personally, I feel like it's more a factor of pride. Okay. Most times we don't want to divulge personal information.
That ain't even your turn.
It's not your turn, sir. People speak out of turn. So most times it's a matter of pride, I believe, where most people don't want to share or divulge personal information that they may feel compromises them or makes them feel or look a certain kind of way, And I think as a man, we've been taught that, especially in the black community, to be strong and carry that weight without, sharing that weight, with the family, with your wife, with your significant other, with your boys. So that's why I stand on that.
I do think it's pride. I think it's also because we've been brought up not to be vulnerable. We've been brought up, you know what? Hey, my dad hadn't been sick in 70 years. He didn't go to the doctor one time, It's that kind of mentality that stops us from feeling like, you know what? I need to go to the doctor. I need to get checked up.
I look at it like this, though. As we get older, my mama used to say, if you don't tell me now, it's going to come out later, right? So, so many times I think
That's a
we,
topic for another day.
as a group of men, as a group of men,
Get whooping, huh?
Some lights, it's getting hot in here.
right, as a group of men, though, as we get older, are we more in line with sharing as we get older? Because I do get what you say, G, about pride. We got that mentality, be tough. You got to be able to take everything. But at a certain point, that toughness go, I can't do what I used to do.
Nor do I want to. But you're right. You're right. I think we're all right, and we're hitting on it. We've been trained. We've been programmed a certain way to carry that weight, as I said. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you buck, you in the field. Hey, man, what do? You carry that load, baby. I don't care how tired you are, how sick you are. Like you said, ain't been to the doctor in 20 years, whatever, right? And that's unfortunate for us. Black men have been wrongfully treated in a way that's really not fair. Even though it was for our families or whatever, it's really been unfair to us because we've had to shoulder so much. And yet, long term, I think it makes us weaker by doing that, carrying that load and not sharing.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if it's just you say black men. I just go back to me coaching basketball, right? I give this scenario about mannerisms. You know, so if we running down court and I have somebody on my team that if they would bend over and pull on their short, it sends a message to the team they tired, I got them. So
Don't do that.
Don't do that. So you don't want to show any weakness because your opponent could take advantage of it. Might be that motivation that give them a little more. Oh, I got G now. He almost on his last. So we're conditioned because it's a imagery of survival. I can't show a kink in my armor because I got so many people throwing at me. Mm-hmm. If I show that I'm vulnerable, that's another area that you can get me.
Yeah.
You know, there's another dynamic too that I think that's in play because it's one of those things that we don't have the ability to ever really look soft. And soft is like,
I'll tell you the latitude to do it more so than the ability.
but so it's called self-care. We can't do self-care. It's like society is saying we're already, looked at with a jaundiced eye. Nobody wants to recognize 10 that we're as human
10.
that we're as human as put them on.
It's 5.
Give me 5. But nobody wants to recognize that we're as human.
I've never passed.
He passed.
I passed twice.
Yeah.
And he got the same number of dominoes I got, and you got one less. Y'all starting cheating already.
Yep.
This your house.
I know. It's your house. Hey, when we ain't no scratch. When we replay it,
No.
we gonna see what happens.
Oh, well, you should scratch that deal, right?
No, how you gonna scratch?
It's
the
a
deal?
default. It's a bogus deal.
All right, shake it.
How's it
That's all right.
bogus?
Shake it.
So you want them points anyway.
Yeah,
So
get
you
it.
want
That's
those
all right.
points.
He want them.
You want those
Yes,
points.
he do. He do. That's okay.
You know what? If it make you feel better,
I
'cause-
think it's the executive producer thing.
Hey, no. If it makes you feel better because you're getting run up, then we can start it over.
Okay, Johnny.
Little Johnny.
Little Johnny, you are missed.
But I think going back to what you said, though, Dan, I mean, to bring that point home,
Count the dominoes, all right? I see 7 in my hand. Yeah, but I guess the point I'm really trying to make is that, society basically says you can't be vulnerable, you can't let your guard down, you got to be tough, and we're already looked at suspects. So because we may not have as much as the majority, we start trying to manifest being tough just as a protection.
yeah, I
fair
go with
assessment.
that. I mean, I think that's factual. But I'm into it that younger or earlier in my life, go ahead. You.
Wind me up. Give me 3s, please.
That's what I'm saying, man. Hey,
Yeah, I know, Ronnie. It's making me hot. I know we sitting in these fights just because better camera view. My left side is better than my right side, but putting G in front of Dan.
Oh, man.
Hold on.
Two
Now, see,
captains.
now you've insulted my fraternity.
But that's
I
okay.
can't stand
I mean,
for that.
I understand.
I
Let's
can't
go
stand
back.
for that.
But here's the thing I throw on it that, younger on in our life, we're less apt to show a kink in the armor, right?
Right.
True.
You get a little older. We all over 50.
Yeah.
I acknowledge I can't do what I used to.
Right.
So is it dependent upon age, longevity on the earth that we become a little softer?
Well, with age comes wisdom.
Wait.
Should.
Was
Should.
did that mean something?
Yeah, it does mean something.
What does it mean?
To me, what it means is you should be wiser as you get older. So there are certain things that you just
This means be
Besides
wiser or
you-
you can't play.
It's on him.
play. It's on him.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just checking.
Mind your own business, and things will work out better. But I do think we should get wiser as we get older.
Yeah.
And we start to realize that again. I keep talking about carrying that weight or that stress level or carrying the weight of the world on one's shoulder, man, it's really not fair. And that's the assessment I've come to. We have been dealt a pretty raw hand to a great degree, and yet we continue to do it
Yeah.
because someone said that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I found out, man, stress has killed many a black man. Probably many a man, but certainly many a black man. It's killed or made worse off.
Yeah.
And I just think we should have been vulnerable a long time ago. We would probably not have some of the issues at home that we have had we been more vulnerable at times. You know what I mean? And that's speaking across the board.
Right. And I think what happens over time is because we carry so much in, it's like pressure on a water pipe. You know,
gonna burst.
as the pressure builds up and you become more insular, it's just a matter of time before it's like, okay, how do I continue this facade?
Right.
Well, we talked about it before how, when we walk out of our house every day and put on that mask, there's no doubt about who we are, even with that mask on, okay? Others get the benefit of the doubt or are able to benefit from that benefit that's given to them or that subjectivity by, that society gives them. We don't get that same subjectivity.
That's a little,
Okay,
that's a little
we're
greedy.
almost at a deficiency publicly when we walk out of our homes every day because we don't know what awaits us. Well, we do know what awaits us, and generally it's not good. And therein lies the problem. So how should I do this though? Jesus. Well,
Ronnie, what you think, man? Why you gonna tell us that you need some help?
Ike don't need no help.
That what
Ike don't need
Ike
no
don't
help.
need. You can't help
Ike
Ike.
don't, you can't help Ike.
Okay.
I must still be on them narcotics then.
Ike making a move. I think, man, it comes down to how we all, let's take it from the standpoint of how we've been reared, right? Most in the African American home, most families are single parent families,
Unfortunately.
so that young male has always had to be
Extra.
the man, right? No matter what the situation is, always had to be the man, which means you took on additional responsibility prior to you ever having to do that because of not so much your age, but as it relates to, that's 15. That's 20.
Did you give him 20 or
He got-
15?
I gave Dan 15. I'm gonna give Ronnie
20.
20.
So we've had to grow up a lot sooner than later, right?
Right.
And I think what has happened over time, you find one repeating a cycle over and over and over again. And you don't have time to say ouch. You don't have time to say I hurt. You don't have time to say I need a break. Because you got to be the one to look after mama, big mama, your sisters, your little brothers. You've got to stand in the gap for everybody else when ain't nobody there for you. And that in itself becomes part of the issue. You know what I mean? So for me, what we're talking about from the standpoint of this game right here, you know, from the topic we're talking about, it's hard for us as black men particularly to be able to say, hey, I need some help.
Yeah.
We just can't do it.
10 when I go plus that.
Nothing.
That's what I believe. So you grow up faster than what you're supposed to, right? Yeah. So now you got the family saying, you know, you a man now. You a man now. This society starts playing in your ear. You a man. You a black man. So now I gotta do this. And it's almost as though we have been pumped up to believe something that we haven't come into existence to be. Because we still are in our youth. So I don't necessarily think you mature in your manhood until after.
You go, in other words, until after you go through some of
You
this
gotta go
stuff.
through. It's a process, right? By age, yeah. Anybody can be 21, get your driver license, buy some cigarettes and some liquor. You don't come of manhood till you go through something. When you got your own, when you got people looking up at you saying, "Daddy," you know what I mean?
Right.
When you got a wife or a significant other saying, "What we gonna do?" That is when you cross that threshold of what I call man.
But you know what? And I think you really hit on something. You said, when you have somebody looking up at you and they're saying daddy, and you do recognize that responsibility. But even in that moment, we're still trying to mature, right? And I think that goes back to the whole basis of, why are we so afraid to say we need help? Because you don't want to let that little face that's looking at you down.
Yep.
You don't want to let them know, wait, daddy isn't Superman.
Yeah.
Give me 10, please.
So, and what the beauty is, at least for me, going back to our last podcast, last recording, I can lean on my old man and say, hey, old man, I need to talk to you. This what's going on.
Yeah.
Give it to me straight.
You say that though. We all profess, I am your brother's keeper,
15.
right?
Uh-huh.
I am your brother's keeper. So if that is the mentality,
Right.
you're comfortable to go and talk to your dad, right? Your biological. Give me a Twankie.
Quit eating every time I eat.
Man, I'm a fat boy.
Same 20.
You want the same? Get your own G. Get your own Uber. But you are comfortable with going with your biological dad. But if I'm your brother's keeper, why can't you come to me? And I say this to all of y'all. We boys. I'm your boy, and I said, friends. We good friends, and to the point that we good friends. So if you need something, call me. What good is a friend if you can't use me when you need me?
Hello.
But you
You know
know
what I
what?
mean? But
But I think what you miss is, I think we all would agree we're all friends. But I think because we build ourselves up, so we all have almost this this facade. This, my shit is good. My shit don't stink.
It's
right?
on point.
Yeah.
My shit on
And
point.
and when you have to break that facade.
Can I
I'm
play?
sorry.
Can I
I'm
play,
anxious.
sir? Yeah, you are anxious.
Yeah.
Now calm yourself down, player.
But when you have to break that facade, that's a tough grip.
Right.
To admit, you know what? It's not that I'm not measuring up in their eyes, but in my eyes. And how can you accept? Shit, I don't want to tell Rob I'm messed up. I don't want to tell Rob, this is what I'm dealing with.
Well, sometimes, as it's saying in the Bible, where you have to stand naked and unashamed. And that's where I think Rob is coming from when we talk about being my brother's keeper. You've got to be able to go to somebody, whether it's your significant other, your boys, your uncle, your dad, somebody, and say, hey, man, I'm in trouble or I need a little help. Right now I'm not at my best.
Hey man, hold on, keep your thought. He talked about the fraternity. I guess they the sisters. or
I
something,
think so. I think so.
He ain't too far down.
But we ain't gonna worry about it.
huh? Okay, all right.
So let me say. Oh, go.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I think that's what happens. We are just so programmed, man, as someone said earlier. But back to what you said about starting so early with have the responsibility and what have you. Hey man, I'm talking about 11 and 12 years old working at a Kroger, and I'm paying a light bill at 12 years old, Ronnie.
I know that's right. Give me to you.
Now, that's not fair. But who says life is fair?
Right.
Okay? When you got a sister and a mother and you the quote unquote man of a house, you should never be the man of a house at 11 or 12 years old.
How you let that stay out there so long?
You should never do that. So with that being said, man, it was a tough pill to swallow for me, 15. It was a tough pill to swallow for me, yet I took it on with all vigor because I knew it would help my mother. The first person I ever fell in love with was my mother. Okay? First woman I ever fell in love with. So what do you do? How do you come back from that as a young man or a young boy, not a man? You're still trying to find yourself, as you so eloquently said.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I got a problem with that. I did it, but as I've gotten older, I don't know if I think I may have a problem with that.
Yeah. So for me, Ronnie Davis, Jr., I'm gonna go back to what you said. We're gonna come back full circle. I have no quorum coming to y'all. What I have is a gift, right? In Ronnie Davis Sr., who's still on this earth.
Blessing.
Who knows
Yeah.
who knows Ronnie Davis. You know what I mean? He knows
5.
he knows me succinctly to the point certain places in my life he's gonna be able to say and speak of. Not that I can't come to y'all, but I know what I'm gonna get from him.
Well, you got a gym. You got a
Because of
gym.
the fact
See?
that
And we don't have.
He knows, he been knowing me. Not 15, 20 years.
Your whole life.
So
And you have a good relationship.
there's some things he gonna be able to bring out, and he gonna be able to add his 78 years of life experiences to the conversation. And I'm sitting there saying, okay. And for me, so getting back to this other thing is, you know what? If we true to ourselves, we look inside ourselves to the truth. Gee, we love being Superman.
Oh, there's no doubt.
We live for it.
I got
We can't show no chink in our armor.
I got a cape in the car and 4 at the dry cleaner. So, yeah, so, you're absolutely correct.
So why we can't say ouch? We Superman.
Yeah.
We the black Superman.
Yeah. And part of
Idris Elba wasn't the first one to say that.
it is because we're so competitive that we don't want the L. We don't know how to take a
No,
L.
can't do it. Can't do it.
It doesn't feel right.
Don't feel right. To this day,
How you gonna play before me?
No, I'm sorry.
we all got daughters. Let our daughters call us in the middle of the night
Oh, man,
and have a need.
you already know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
If I ain't got it, I'm gonna get it somehow, some way. Watch this. I'm gonna call y'all. Say, make a road trip, something. We gonna
Hey.
do this X, Y, and Z.
So
We already know.
So let me go on back and just so I understand. So what we stating is that because of our structure, our family structures, or our surrounding, we got a role to play. And that role does not come with a manuscript that includes being vulnerable.
Exactly. I like how you put that.
I'm just, that's your role, G.
It doesn't because of the programming and because of the way we have been made to feel less than or weak
Give me 10.
when we do those things, right? When we come, we don't want you to think bad. As Dan
I'm so
said,
sick of your ass. You hear me?
He playing for 15.
that's all right. You got that? Give me 20.
Take your own plate. What do you
Man, let me get 20.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Don't call him now. You wasn't calling him early when you was talking all that.
When you passing the love, bro.
Jesus.
Oh Lord, that's
no,
ball
he
game.
didn't. No, he didn't.
Ball game.
No,
y'all.
I ain't gonna do it yet. I got to think on this. But y'all was saying though. Y'all was saying before Ronnie been so nasty. y'all
Why
was,
you had to be nasty?
I had
man?
to shoot by him.
I'm like, yeah, he
Put the
should
mask
have.
gas on that
I'm
one.
going to let G get a little more money.
Oh, he trying to.
But so the role though, there was a casting that was out for some roles, Superman being one of them. And when you read the job description, it didn't include a kink in the armor to show weakness.
No.
That is correct.
Okay, but G, you keep going back to we were programmed. Programmed by who? Because I ain't grow up with all these
Well, let me
TVs
say
and
this.
devices.
All right. Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Your belief system was formed a long time ago.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with you.
Okay.
All right. Others perpetuated whatever myths, truths, falsehoods, whatever they were. Others formed that belief system that was formed in you a long time ago. So guess what you do when trouble comes or prosperity comes? You know what you do? You hearken back to that belief system.
Okay, I got you.
Right?
I got you.
So therefore, we've been done an injustice to a great degree.
But
Now-
those belief
now,
systems, though, who they came from?
That's what I was
our
gonna
own,
ask.
our own,
let-
our
let's-
parents,
Let's
grandparents.
let's go back to the motherland.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I wasn't that far back. But go ahead.
But back in time, the warriors, they were men. Men took care of the village.
We'll talk about
what
that.
I'm
I
saying?
beg to differ, though. We found some
Well-
women who were.
Well, yeah, you saw that movie already. See, we ain't talking about Viola. We leave Viola out of this, but I'm gonna take that Twinkie.
He took the Twinkie, but let me.
But hold on.
Before you get your point, you know you can't eat, right? You know you can't eat. Because when you eat,
Funny,
I
told you a
eat.
while ago
game,
He told you a while
set,
ago.
match.
when we did like this, and he said, "No, I ain't gonna do that."
All
I
right.
can't believe
Now, I'm not going to get your point.
on,
out.
come on.
Come on,
Mr.
Mufasa.
Davis.
Mufasa.
You know what?
Come on,
Mr.
Mufasa.
Davis, go ahead on. You sure feed well, too, boy.
This nigga here, boy.
Executive producers, man. That's
Hey,
what they
man,
did,
look,
man.
look.
Y'all
it's
trying
on
to
you.
shake him. Go ahead on.
Shake.
There you go.
Yeah, you let him go. Hey,
Go on and get your salient point out,
Give him
too.
one.
Go on and get your salient point out, too, now that you got the dominant.
Hey, G, since they play like that, give me one now.
Give you one?
Give me one.
No. No.
All I need was 10.
Yeah, you can.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna. Hey,
This what
But you
happened.
said take us to the motherland. Go on.
Let's come stateside. When we watch this, and now I don't know how it was in y'all house. My old man ain't believe in no Santa Claus and all that type of stuff. Ain't no Santa Claus, no white Santa Claus, ain't no white Jesus, right? So when you grow up and your kids looking for Christmas, right? You do whatever you have to do to make sure they have a Christmas that's very merry. We do that, right? As the man.
true.
When we meet that one that catches our eye,
Right.
we go all out. To
All
show
out.
her, guess what?
I got you.
I'm the man.
Oh, yeah. Whatever that takes.
Watch this. You do what you gotta do to stream her up, bring her on in, reel on in, marry her. Now you got a family, right? So it's multiplied. You still got that same persona. I'm the man. I gotta make it happen. Boom, boom, boom. It just builds upon your life year after year, and it gets bigger and bigger to the point you, man, listen.
But if you build it on a bad foundation or whatever, then you just
but
go.
I think-
I don't mean.
hold on.
But bad is a bad word.
Right, but
No, here's what Ronnie's saying, I think. All right, look. We start out, I got 5 pounds in each arm, right? Okay. Over time, it's 15.
it get
Over time, it's 100. Over time, it's 200.
10.
Now, I'm starting to get a little weak.
Yeah,
I need some help.
ain't nobody to help.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my point. You're building on whether it's good or bad. I said bad. That's why I said that's a bad word. Whatever you're building upon, whatever that
Let me get in
foundation
that.
is or was, you're continually building upon that, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's strong, whether it's weak. You're building upon that. And eventually it's going to do what?
Well, unless you start offloading, hey, Rob, I got this
But
situation.
G, go back to, and I think when I said as we get older, Ronnie said, or you said because we got wiser, could because I got tired.
Oh, there's no
Ain't gotta
doubt.
be. I can still be. I don't have no wisdom. But if I hold the weight long enough, I get tired, and that's when I have to say it.
There's no doubt.
Uncle.
Uncle, yeah, you got
I
it
used to
now.
I can't go
say
no
uncle,
more.
Say uncle. Can't
Yeah.
go no more.
Let me get 10.
But that's absolutely correct. Give me 15.
Good Lord. Y'all acting up. Well, give me them boats, isn't it? Them Twinkies.
Man, just a follower.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to be a follower.
On that,
Especially there's 20 on the board.
we got Twinkies on the board. So I mean, inevitably, we're saying that the script was written. The job description didn't have anything to do with it. That you're gonna be weak or short king.
Well,
Let me make it simple. I think I'm gonna make it simple, right? I think what do most of us do on Friday, Saturday, Sunday? First game to come on Saturday, college football. There's a leader, there's a quarterback, there's a coach, right? We're looking at, and if we've played it, we're thinking of leadership, right? And leadership is strong. The quarterback ain't gonna look weak, Sunday football, all they talking about is the leader. They ain't talking about the center. They ain't even talking about the left tackle.
that's right.
think it's just in society, there's a big expectation that after you put votes on the board,
Damn.
that you are always the man.
So we can't be nothing less than what we already called to be in terms of what society has put out there.
Yeah, because we're gonna struggle.
And here's the thing. Don't no woman want no weak man. And weakness in society terms is someone who you don't want to follow. Who wants to follow a weak leader?
But is being vulnerable being weak?
No. I didn't
Those
say
are two
vulnerable.
different things.
I'm asking the question.
No. So
Because guess what? I know some people who consider that, unfortunately,
yeah.
who consider that when you're vulnerable as weakness. It's not fair. It's not fair because when you are truthful with somebody, it can hurt.
Yeah. True.
It can hurt. So your vulnerability by just saying, you know what? I'm tired. I've said it many times to mine. I'm human. I'm not a robot. I got feelings too. In other words, respect that.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we let it go on so long to
That's
get
what,
to that
what-
point.
That's
Right?
what
You're
I.
at the breaking
We're
point.
at the breaking point
That's
at that
what I
point.
said a second
And now
ago.
we cussing and swearing and going off and flipping tables.
Be some choice words.
Yeah, you know, and when
Don't
you
play,
hey,
man.
look, when you
Don't
had a choice words, man, and you vote him up again, you know.
Golly.
Well, I mean, but here the problem of it is, he just told him what he was going to do, and we sitting up here staying for it. I got to play against two of them now.
You got to play against two of them.
All right, man ought to have some dignity in yourself.
Bet he don't win.
Okay,
Oh, man.
as we go through.
I bet that.
Okay, I got it.
I got a
So-
twist. I say he don't win.
Hey,
right?
I'm gonna bet on myself. I ain't saying
Wow,
There you go.
wow.
Smart.
yeah, I'm gonna bet on
Smart.
myself as we
You
go
won't
through.
bet on no loser, man.
But we didn't hit on that. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
so
I
if
think
we put a bow in it, as you would say.
again, I think the boat. So give me your last. Let's go around on that.
Yeah.
Now I want to pivot to one thing. It's been
Okay.
itching on me.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna pivot to something else, let's get this out first. Again, I talked a lot about our belief system, what we're programmed to believe, this or that. Unfortunately, I probably bought into some of that, obviously, over my years. I think we all have. And to the point where it's probably been hurtful to us. You know, oh, Jesus. It's been hurtful, but I've also been able to.
What we doing as far as self-help? I mean, regardless of the fact that if the role does state that we have to be tough, we have to play this image, I think you ought to have a group of individuals whereby you ought to be able to come and ask for help. Randy, you have the blessing to have your daddy. That's
blessing.
That's a blessing. Everybody
a
don't have
blessing.
their daddy.
All three of us don't have that.
Yeah, so
You're the
everybody
only
don't
one.
have a daddy. So I think as you saying is find you somebody, a confidant, your brother's keeper, where when it's getting heavy,
Yeah.
you can offload some of it.
Yeah, because he does not look at me as
6'6".
you know, from the lens of nigga, you wrong.
Right.
There's no judgment, right? He's looking at me as his son.
Right.
How can I help my boy? Right. You know, and by the same token, when we come together, how can I help my boy?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's real talk.
That's real talk right there.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
And we just got to trust that and believe that if I come to you, it
Niggas
has to be
real.
a circle of trust.
Yeah.
Okay? And you got to feel good about that so that, you know, some people just, they don't want they shit out.
Yeah.
Okay? But like I said, I'm an open book. I know he knows.
I don't mean to cut you off. I used one of your things the other day. We was out, and I said, "I don't give a damn what's going on. I'm going with my boy.
Hey, what
You
I-
ain't my friend.
What I tell you? Hey,
You ain't
thank
my friend.
Thank you.
Oh man, it got hot and heavy. You hear me?
But
It
you
got
know-
hot and heavy.
That's my thing right there, man. Hey, but I'm willing to fall on that
I'm okay
sword or
with that
down
too.
that hill.
I'm okay with that
I'm
too.
willing to.
You know the other thing, I think as we talking about time does demonstrate
Oh yeah.
some
Modifications.
yeah, but I mean
Gotta come back and alter.
We tried, tested, and true.
Yeah.
We are.
In my brother's keepers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately or fortunately, some of us got more
I'm
experience.
gonna say fortunately.
Some of us got more experience than others. I say experience.